Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. All right, so today I'm in Beverly Hills, California at David's Monetized Talks, David Rivera's Monetized Talks. If you haven't been to one of these events yet, they're one of my favorite monthly events. I come every single month. You can get tickets to next month at monetizedtalks.com. My next guest is Hanna Horenstein, who she is the founder and CEO over at Virtuity. And fun fact, Hanna and I met maybe 1, 2, 3 years ago through Dan. Dan, see, me and Hanna are doing an interview, finally. Hanna, welcome to the show. Finally, I snagged you.
Thank you.
Always love a contacted Dan, and always love when I meet somebody and then a couple years later they're on the show and we're like, how did we meet? How did we it's good stuff. So I know a little bit about your background, and I know you've really knocked it out helping a lot of individuals through your company and otherwise. So I want to get into all of that, of course. But first, have you ever been to Monetized Talks? Is this the first one? I'm just curious. Yeah.
Never been.
Or met David? Like, what's the connection to David?
Nope. Actually, just a mutual friend invited me down, and I'm excited to be here.
Though. This is one of my favorites. I come every month, and I do this. Of course, I do a couple of interviews, but I'm most interested in hearing the speakers. And now that you're going to be here too, I'm like, he always gets good speakers, so I'm a fan.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So just get us kicked off here. Your speech today, or what you're going to talk about, your talk. Maybe start there. Like, tell us a little bit more. Give us a little bit of a teaser.
Sure. So I'm talking essentially about figuring out your financial independence number. And most people have no idea what that is. So we're going to kind of take people through a little exercise where I'm going to get them like dreaming about their, ideal life. And, being at a beautiful house like this, I think it's perfect because, you pull up, you have all these beautiful cars out here. You have this gorgeous
house.
Not
too shabby, right?
Right? You have this view. And so people are sitting here and thinking like, how do I get a life like this? How do I, become financially free?
Yeah.
And it's, I always kind of compare it to if you want to get into shape, there's a formula. And if you hire a personal trainer, they'll usually, do all your measurements, and then they'll give you a plan. Get to the gym this many times a week, eat this many calories, get this much sleep, drink this much water, and you will have the body that you want.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with money.
How'd you get into that business? How'd you get into the money business?
So that was 27 years ago.
Give it to me. I'm in. How did you, just the other day?
Yeah, whenever I say that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm old. More than half my life. So,
what a privilege, though, helping people the way you have. That's amazing.
Thank you. It really is. I'm like so blessed. I actually got my real estate license when I was 18.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've always been a go-getter. Like, that's a pretty young age to go out and like want to be in business. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I started working when I was 11. So had my first babysitting business at 11. And then
where did that come from? The entrepreneur part, was it family? Otherwise, like you just had it, like you just wanted to.
Yeah.
You're like, I like money. I want to go make it. Like, where did it come from?
Good question. I have no idea. But yeah, I started working at 11, and then by 14, I got a real job. And I probably had 50 to 100 different jobs. If you drive down Ventura Boulevard, I've worked in every building.
Wow.
And I realized very early on, I didn't like working for other people. I didn't like having a boss. What
didn't you like about it? I'm so curious.
Well, if they told me to get into work at 3 o'clock after school, let's just say, and then stay until 7, and if you want to have a dinner break or a lunch break, or
do it at this time, or like and
I didn't like it, and so I went from job to job to job, and then also getting a $15 an hour. I think it was much less back then.
You're like, so you got a job outside of babysitting and started working under somebody else's rules and possibly at times making less.
Exactly.
Like,
and paying
why
taxes.
would I do this? And paying Mr. W.
Right. And so I got fired from every single job I went to.
Really?
Yep.
You old rebel, you. I didn't know that. Continue, please.
Yeah. So they'd say, get in at 3, I get there at 3:30, and, don't make any personal phone calls. And I, call my friend. And so I just realized I was like, I'm in trouble.
You were unemployable at a young age, and you knew it, though. At least you had self-awareness, though.
And I knew it. And so actually, there's a funny story behind it if you want to hear it.
I absolutely want to hear this. This is a riot.
So was at the supermarket with my dad one day. I'm probably 15 years old. And, my parents had gone through some pretty bad financial times. And so we're walking through the supermarket and, the Daily News, LA Times, people are trying to sell you newspaper. And they stop my dad and they're like, what do you do for a living? And he says, I'm self-employed. And he keeps walking.
Yeah.
And I was horrified. And I'm like, Dad, why did you tell them that we're broke? And he's like, I didn't say we're broke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you said you're self-employed. You don't have a job.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I didn't say unemployed. I said self-employed. I work for myself.
Wow.
And I was like, And
then you understood the concept, like you had the language, so to speak.
Yeah. So I got it. And so I decided to then go get a job at a real estate company when I was 17. And on my 18th birthday, took my real estate license exam.
Whoa.
I thought I was going to hit the ground running. I thought I was going to be a millionaire in real estate. And I spent 4 years struggling, trying to find clients, living on credit cards.
What kept you strong during those days? I know it's a little while ago, but you're still, not in the easiest business. And I won't know one of the things you're doing is working with newer individuals that also want to be in certain businesses, or through your teams, right?
Yeah.
So what kept you strong in those days?
I wasn't strong when I was in real estate. I was struggling. It was the hardest time of my life, living on credit cards, begging my parents for money. It was horrible.
Wow.
And then a friend of mine introduced me to this industry. And at that point, I was literally at rock bottom, $30,000 in debt.
Whoa. About what age was that roughly? Just
22.
Roughly. Wow. Okay.
22.
What a blessing to understand an industry like this at that age.
Yeah.
At any age, honestly, but at that age, that's wonderful. Continue, please.
Yeah. So a friend of mine that worked in mortgage with me, she got recruited into the financial services industry. And so when I wanted to know what she was doing, she was so excited about it. And I followed her to this company. And, essentially what they did was they taught me how money works. And I would say the biggest difference from this business model than the one I was in before is I was on my own. And so it was one of those things where figure it out, fake it till you make it, no support, no help. And getting into this industry, I had a mentor. And I had someone literally holding my hand, teaching me what to do every step of the way. And there were so many leaders, mentors that I could look up to, that I could go to for help. I didn't have that before. And I think that's probably the secret to my success. Because I wasn't in it by myself, and I was able to, get support to build my business.
So how do some of those themes, like what you're talking about, like having a system, having a support system, having mentors and all that, how does that all relate to what you do today with Virtuity?
So same exact thing. I started off as a trainee, and then I built my way up to being a broker with the firm. And so now I run an agency, and so I train people who want to, become their own business owner, become their own broker, and I help them launch their careers.
What is that like for you? What is that like for you to work with and as a team to work with individuals that are coming in and let's just say, I don't know what the correct term is, fresh, brand new, green. I don't know whatever the proper term is you use in your culture, but new people. How's that like?
It's amazing.
It is, isn't it?
It's amazing. And we work with people all walks of life. You know, in fact, I've got, some of my agents here that came from corporate America that were already very successful, all the way to, a girl I interviewed today, and she literally doesn't have $1 to her name. And I was like, hey, you could still do this.
Wow.
You could still launch your business. You could change your financial situation. And it feels great, Ed Milet always says that you are the most qualified to help people that are where you used to be. And so whenever I meet someone who's eager and they want it and they just they want an opportunity, it's awesome. It's really fun.
That's great. And then talk about so that's one side of the opportunity, obviously, which is amazing, which is providing opportunities, which you're doing as a CEO, which you're doing in terms of the agency overall. But on the other side, let's talk about it from the recipient, the actual work being done for the clients. Maybe go into that a little bit.
Sure. So first we talk about their goals and we teach them how money works.
Yeah.
So I think most financial firms just focus on if you already have money, we'll help you manage it.
Yeah. And that's how I was. So I haven't been in that business for now a solid 10 years now. I've been in media, but before that, 14 years plus, I was in finance and managing money. And before I exited my RIA, if you didn't have $1 million, that we couldn't talk, period. Like, there just wasn't, the numbers weren't there. It wasn't that I was a bad person. It just wasn't set up for that. So, and I was honest and just said, I can't help you. But continue. I just wanted to set the stage with that when you say that, like, it's true. Not everything works for somebody starting from different levels of wealth.
Absolutely. So that's kind of in our presentation, our initial presentation, we literally talk about the industry and how the industry is set up.
Yeah.
That it's not really built to help the little guy.
It's not. No. And even the mid-size maybe. Depends. Like, it's all relative. Yeah.
Right. So someone like me, I had $30,000 in debt and $100 to my name.
Wow.
And they sat down with me and they educated me. They talked about my
what
goals.
A blessing.
Right?
Insane. Yeah.
Right? So we can help literally anybody. So it starts with the education, finding out what their goals are, and then putting a plan together.
Yeah.
And I was just telling this to someone here, actually. She's like, I'm broke. How do I start? I said, well, I was broke. I started with $200 a month.
That's awesome.
That was literally my first, go at it, was putting away $200 a month. But what happens, it's a muscle that you've never used before. We're so used to spending.
Yeah.
But if you can actually teach people how to save, you can actually get them their first account open and then show them hey, you can do this. And once you start small, it's a lot easier to kind of creep up a little. It's like, I'm going to use the fitness example. It's like going to the gym and getting on the treadmill and walking slow.
Yeah.
And if you keep going and you keep walking slow, you can start to walk a little faster and then you can jog and then you could run. Most people can't go in the gym and just start running day one.
True.
So we teach people how to essentially crawl and then walk and then run.
I love it. Hanna, I could talk to you about this all day, but I know you're the next speaker coming up, so I do got to get you back to the stage. But before you do that, I want you to look into the camera. How do people follow up? How do they learn more about your brokerage, about Virtuity? How do they follow you on social and everything else?
Sure. So on Instagram, it's Hanna, Hanna Liza, Liza .Horenstein. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. They can also go to virtuity.com and then they can make a request to have a meeting with me.
Wonderful. And for everybody watching at home, just so you know, we'll definitely put the links in the show notes so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Yes, you heard me right. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Hanna, so happy I could finally get you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.